Hello and welcome to another episode of Laborvision, brought to you by your friends at KDHX, Community Television for St. Louis and beyond. I'm your host, John Hickey, and in this recession, we're seeing good-paying manufacturing jobs being shipped overseas and disappearing as employers chase lower wages in other countries. Today's episode, we look at what can be done to stop this global race to the bottom. We've got three guests here who will speak from their own personal experience about this challenge. Let me introduce them to you. First, Kim Roth from Jefferson County. Thanks for being with us, Kim.
Thank you for having me.
And you've written a book, Take Back America, 23 Simple Ways That Average Americans Can
help. Yes, sir.
Great. And then Matt Pigg from Farmington, who has just opened the Made in the USA store in Farmington to make it easier for people to find goods manufactured in the United States.
Exactly, yeah.
Great. And then Mariah Newman, a student at Windsor High School, who is working on a research project on what's happening to American manufacturing. Great. Well, thanks for being with us. And Kim, let me start with you. What inspired you to write the Take Back America book?
Well, it was actually a trip that I took with my cousin to New York City to see a Farm Aid concert and to see the city itself. We spent 5 days there, and we went as fast as we could and to see as much as we could. It was just a very eye-opening experience in many ways. On our drive out there, we noticed how horrible the road conditions were, how horrible the bridges were. It was like our country was falling apart at the seams. And while we were in New York City, we stayed at a very dirty, smelly hotel that seemed completely unsafe with a staff that couldn't communicate with us. Customer service was very rare, any good customer service in any of the places that we went. The least little bit of kindness, human kindness, was a rarity. But most of all, it just made us so sad that our country has come to this. And on our way home, we were listening to a CD by Bill Clinton on our stereo called My Life. And we would stop the CD and we would get on our soapboxes and we would say, come up with ways that we should be able to help Americans bring this country back to the greatness it once had. And we joked and we said, let's write a book. And we did. And so through all of that, we just decided to go ahead and write a book and try to inspire Americans to become better citizens. Because if we want a better government, we feel that Americans have to get more involved in what is going on in this country. We have to start putting our government in check and making sure that they're putting the average American's best interest at heart. And that is where the 20 simple ideas to help take back America came from.
Great. And we'll get into some of those ideas after the break. Matt, let me ask you quickly, tell us a little bit about the store you've opened in Farmington.
Well, it's called Made in the USA, and obviously everything there is made in the USA. It's what we kind of put, part of our slogan is clothing and apparel for the proud American. And we like to think that people who come there and shop there are very proud of their country, where they live at, and want to support it. In the end, when you buy a product from our store, you're supporting American jobs, families, and businesses. So we got a lot of different things, men, women, and children's clothing there. And we actually have a lady who makes hair bows for us, and she lives right there in town out of American Fabric. We contacted her. She was my wife's friend, and she was kind of very interested in making the hair bow, but when we told her American Fabric, it was something different for her, and she was obviously interested in it too. So it was a very neat thing for us to experience.
Good. And we'll talk more about the story after the break. Mariah, most high school students don't pick projects like the fate of American manufacturing. What made you pick that topic?
Well, currently I'm doing this project on the loss of American manufacturing. I'm going to have to make an interest group, and I'm going to have to contact congressmen and representatives of my state through letters and through phone calls. I chose to do this because I have seen the effects it's had on America and on my family and families around me. It's very personal. You wouldn't assume that a 16-year-old would worry about it, but it's been brought to a young adults and high school students' attention.
Because your family's been impacted by these
Yes.
manufacturing job losses.
Yes.
Okay. Well, there you have it. The American manufacturing losses are impacting America up and down. We're seeing that in the roads, the condition of the infrastructure, the loss of jobs. That is a challenge we have to address.